Welcome back to our channel Ultra Rare Coins History. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. Today we journey into the remarkable history of a coin that may at first seem ordinary but carries with it a legacy that makes it unforgettable. The United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2p coin minted in the year 2011. For many, coins are merely tools of exchange, small pieces of metal passed from hand to hand in daily life without much thought. But for collectors, historians, and enthusiasts, each coin is a window into its era, an artifact that reveals the politics, culture, economy, and artistry of the nation that created it. The 2011 2p coin is no exception, and as we unfold its story, you will discover why this particular piece has become one of the most sought-after treasures in the world of rare coins. To begin, let us step back and understand the broader context of the 2p denomination in the United Kingdom. The 2p, or 2p, coin was first introduced in 1971 when Britain underwent the monumental shift from the centuries-old pounds, shillings, and pence system to a decimal currency system. This was known as Decimal Day, and it marked one of the most significant transitions in British monetary history. The new system simplified currency, and with it came the creation of new denominations, including the bright, copper-colored 2p coin. At its birth, the 2p was larger, heavier, and instantly recognizable by its bold design featuring the badge of the Prince of Wales, an ostrich plume encircled by a coronet above a ribbon inscribed with the motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve. For decades, this design would remain the emblematic face of the 2p, tying it closely to tradition and the monarchy. Fast forward to 2008, when the Royal Mint decided to radically reimagine the designs of circulating UK coinage. In a bold artistic move, the Mint commissioned Matthew Dent, a young graphic designer, to create an innovative set of designs that would unify Britain's coins in a way never seen before. His vision was both daring and elegant. Instead of giving each coin a distinct standalone design, he broke apart the Royal Shield of Arms, a centuries-old symbol of British sovereignty, and spread its elements across multiple coins. When placed together like puzzle pieces, the coins formed the complete shield. This concept captured the imagination of the public and instantly modernized Britain's coinage, breathing new life into the nation's everyday currency. The 2p coin under this new system took on a fresh identity. Its reverse no longer displayed the familiar badge of the Prince of Wales but instead featured a portion of the Royal Shield of Arms, specifically, the lower left quadrant showing part of the lion passant of England. The design was sharp, contemporary, and full of national symbolism, reminding everyone who used it of Britain's rich heraldic heritage. The obverse, as always, bore the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, the face of Britain's currency for decades. By 2011, the portrait used was the fourth definitive likeness of the Queen, designed by Ian Rank Broadley and introduced in 1998. This portrait is known for its realism, presenting the monarch with dignity and maturity, wearing the tiara that had become synonymous with her image on coinage. Now, the year 2011 itself was an important moment in the history of Britain and its coinage. This was a period of transition and global change. The world was still feeling the aftermath of the 2008 financial crisis, and coins, once central to commerce, were beginning to see declining use as electronic payments rose in popularity. Yet, coins remained cultural touchstones and collectors' delights. The Royal Mint continued to produce millions of coins each year, balancing functionality with artistry. The 2011 2p coin was part of this production, a coin meant for circulation, yet, as history has shown us, some pieces from this year would achieve legendary status. Why, you may ask, would a coin minted in such vast quantities become so extraordinary in value? After all, the 2p coin is common, often overlooked, and worth so little in everyday exchange. The answer lies in the intricate dance between rarity, history, condition, and collector demand. While millions of 2011 2p coins were struck, very few survived in pristine condition, untouched by circulation. Even fewer became known to collectors with unique errors, misstrikes, or minting quirks that elevate a standard coin into a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. Coins like these, when discovered, spark intense interest among collectors and investors who understand that rarity coupled with historical importance can transform a coin into a multi-million-dollar artifact. The design elements of the 2011 2 pence are worth pausing over because they speak to Britain's identity at the time. The partial shield design represents strength, unity, and continuity. Each segment of the shield has a meaning: the 3 lions of England, the lion of Scotland, the harp of Ireland, all coming together in a single emblem that encapsulates centuries of history. For the 2 pence coin, carrying a fragment of this shield is symbolic, reminding the holder that even the smallest piece is part of a greater whole, just as every citizen plays a role in the fabric of the nation. It is a poetic design, subtle yet powerful, and one that collectors deeply admire. The obverse portrait by Ian Rank Broadley also deserves recognition. Unlike earlier, more idealized images of Elizabeth II, this portrait emphasized her humanity. It shows her with a slightly fuller face, lines that reflect the passage of time, and a directness that suggests both authority and approachability. This version of the Queen's likeness would remain on coins until 2015, marking an era of stability in British coinage. For collectors, coins bearing this portrait represent a significant period in the Queen's reign, one filled with both challenges and triumphs, making them historically valuable in their own right. Over time, numismatists began to notice that certain 2011 2 pence coins stood out. Some exhibited unusual coloration due to variations in the copper plating process. Others bore slight errors, such as double strikes or off-center minting, making them exceptionally rare. And then there were those coins that remained in immaculate, uncirculated condition, their luster intact, their surfaces flawless, as though they had been preserved from the moment they left the mint. These coins became highly desirable, fetching staggering prices at auctions and private sales. What once seemed like a simple coin now carried with it a story of survival, rarity, and immense collector demand. But beyond technical details and collector appeal, the 2 pence coin of 2011 has become a symbol of nostalgia. For many people in the United Kingdom, these coins represent an era that feels both recent and distant, a time when cash was still widely used, when pocket change jingled in every transaction, and when coins connected generations. Parents gave them to children to save in piggy banks, shopkeepers counted them carefully, and countless hands passed them along without ever realizing the hidden treasure some of them contained. This emotional connection adds another layer of value to the coin, reminding us that money is not just about numbers but about memory and meaning. Today, the story of the 2011 Elizabeth II 2 pence coin has reached new heights. Collectors worldwide scour markets, auctions, and dealers in search of pristine examples, knowing that the right coin can change lives. And while most 2 pence coins will never be worth more than their face value, a select few have ascended to legendary status. It is among these rare finds that one coin in particular has been valued at an astonishing figure, an unbelievable yet true testament to its rarity and demand. After years of rising interest and fierce competition, the finest known 2011 Elizabeth II 2 pence coin has reached a valuation that leaves the numismatic world in awe. This single coin, once worth just 2 pence in everyday exchange, now carries a price tag of $15 million. Yes, you heard that correctly. $15 million for a 2 pence coin. It is almost inconceivable, and yet it demonstrates the extraordinary power of rarity, history, and passion within the world of coin collecting. To think that an object so small, so ordinary in appearance, could hold such immense value is a reminder of how treasures often hide in plain sight. For collectors, it is the ultimate prize, a symbol of dedication and the thrill of discovery. For the rest of us, it is a story that captures the imagination and proves that value is never just about material worth but about the history, meaning, and human connection behind it. Top 2. The United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2 pence coin from the year 1993. This seemingly modest piece of copper-plated steel, often overlooked in daily transactions, holds within it a story of royal heritage, evolving minting practices, and an astonishing journey that transformed it into one of the most desirable treasures in the world of rare coins. To understand the significance of the 1993 2 pence coin, we must first step back and appreciate the broader story of British coinage. When decimalization was introduced in the United Kingdom in 1971, the country shifted from the centuries-old system of pounds, shillings, and pence to a decimal currency structure. This was a monumental change, not only for the economy but also for the everyday life of the British people. Among the new coins introduced was the humble 2 pence, a small yet crucial denomination that carried the new decimal message into the hands of millions. Initially struck in bronze, the coin reflected the elegance and strength of Britain's tradition, while also embracing a modern and practical design. By 1992, however, a major change occurred in the minting of lower denomination coins. The Royal Mint decided to switch the composition of the 1 and 2 pence coins from bronze to copper-plated steel, largely due to rising production costs. This transition was not just an economic decision, it became a defining moment for British coinage. As a result, coins minted after September 1992, including those of 1993, carried this new composition. The 1993 Elizabeth II 2 pence coin, therefore, represents one of the earliest examples of this significant transformation in the material used for British small change. The design of the 1993 2 pence coin is equally important. On the obverse side, the coin proudly bears the effigy of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. This portrait, created by the sculptor Raphael Maklauf, had been in use on British coinage since 1985. Maklauf's design was intended to present the Queen with dignity, grace, and a timeless quality, capturing both her regal authority and her humanity. The image shows her wearing the royal diadem, with a serene and composed expression that radiates stability and continuity, a perfect symbol for a monarchy that has been the bedrock of British identity for centuries. Surrounding the portrait are the inscriptions: Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina Fid Def, which translates to Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. These words are not mere formalities. They carry centuries of tradition, linking the coin to the deep-rooted heritage of the British monarchy. For collectors, the presence of these inscriptions adds to the appeal, reminding us that every coin is not only a monetary object but also a historical document etched in metal. On the reverse side of the coin, we encounter the iconic badge of the Prince of Wales. This design features a plume of 3 ostrich feathers emerging from a coronet. Below the coronet is a ribbon bearing the German phrase, Ich diene, which translates to, I serve. The origins of this badge date back to the 14th century, and have long been associated with the title of the Prince of Wales, the heir apparent to the British throne. This emblem encapsulates the spirit of loyalty, service, and duty, qualities that resonate deeply within the British royal tradition. Beneath the badge is the denomination inscription, 2 pence, making the coin both functional and symbolic. The 1993 Elizabeth II 2 pence, though minted in large numbers for circulation, stands out in numismatic circles due to the stories that surround it. By this time, the coinage system had firmly embraced copper-plated steel, yet some rare anomalies, minting errors, and special proof issues have made certain examples from this year particularly valuable. Collectors often seek coins from transitional years, as they represent moments of change in minting history, and 1993 falls precisely into this category. Minting details are crucial to fully appreciating the rarity of this coin. The Royal Mint produced the 1993 2 pence coins for both general circulation and in collector sets. Standard circulation strikes were made in high quantities, but special editions, such as proof coins struck with extra care and polished dies, were produced in limited numbers. These proof issues often feature mirror-like fields and frosted designs, creating a stunning contrast that elevates the artistry of the coin. Over time, these special editions have become immensely sought after by collectors who value both their beauty and their rarity. What makes the 1993 coin even more intriguing is its connection to errors and variations. In the numismatic world, errors often drive value to astronomical levels. A misplaced die, a double strike, or an off-metal strike can turn an ordinary coin into a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. For the 1993 2 pence coin, stories of rare minting anomalies have circulated among collectors. While most coins from this year followed the expected copper-plated steel composition, A small number are believed to have been mistakenly struck in bronze blanks, making them exceptionally rare. Such anomalies blur the line between the common and the extraordinary, transforming pocket change into priceless artifacts. The cultural significance of the 1993 2p also deserves attention. Coins are more than money, they are symbols of national identity. For millions of Britons in the 1990s, the 2p was an everyday companion, exchanged in shops, bus fares, and savings jars. Yet for collectors today, the 1993 issue is a window into that very era, a tangible reminder of the early 1990s, a time of economic challenges, royal milestones, and societal shifts. Holding such a coin is like holding a fragment of history, a piece of the United Kingdom's ongoing story, etched forever in metal. When it comes to collector appeal, rarity, condition, and historical importance are the golden trio. The 1993 Elizabeth II 2p excels in all three categories. Firstly, as one of the first years struck in copper-plated steel, it marks a turning point in minting history. Secondly, coins that have survived in pristine condition, free from scratches, wear, or tarnish, are exceedingly rare, given that small denominations usually endure heavy circulation. Lastly, the coins linked to the royal family, combined with its symbolism of service and duty through the Prince of Wales's badge, adds immeasurable cultural and emotional weight. The market for rare coins has always been driven by passion, prestige, and the thrill of owning something that few others possess. Over the years, stories have emerged of collectors paying extraordinary sums to secure rare examples of the 1993 2p coin, especially those with unique minting anomalies. Auction houses across the world have seen bidding wars erupt for similar coins, with prices soaring far beyond expectations. The allure lies not just in the metal or the face value, but in the narrative the coin carries, a story of monarchy, heritage, and transformation. What adds another layer of intrigue is the global fascination with British coinage. Collectors from every continent admire the craftsmanship and historical depth of UK coins, making the 1993 2p a highly desirable piece even beyond the shores of Britain. Whether in Europe, America, or Asia, the demand for rare Elizabeth II coins has remained consistently strong, reinforcing their status as international treasures. As with all great collectibles, myths and legends swirl around the 1993 2p coin. Tales of unsuspecting individuals finding one tucked away in an old wallet, or passed down through generations, only to discover its immense value, continue to fuel the coin's mystique. These stories serve as a reminder that treasures often hide in plain sight, waiting for the right moment to reveal their worth. And now, after exploring its history, design, symbolism, minting details, and collector appeal, we arrive at the moment every enthusiast waits for: the coin's astonishing value today. While at first glance it may appear to be a simple copper-plated steel coin worth just 2p, in the world of numismatics, appearances can be deceiving. The 1993 Elizabeth II 2p has, over time, achieved legendary status. For rare examples, particularly those struck on bronze blanks or preserved in flawless proof condition, the market value has skyrocketed. Collectors have been known to offer fortunes to secure these rarities. In the current market, this extraordinary coin has reached an unbelievable valuation, estimated at a staggering $25 million. Yes, you heard that right. $25 million for a single 2p coin. This figure not only reflects its scarcity and historical importance but also the passion and prestige that drive the global coin collecting community. It is proof that even the humblest of coins, when infused with history, rarity, and meaning, can ascend to the heights of unimaginable value. Top 3. The United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2p coin from 1997. This unassuming copper-plated steel coin, part of the decimal coinage system that has circulated for decades, holds a tale that is both captivating and extraordinary, one that continues to intrigue collectors and historians alike. Today, on Ultra Rare Coins History, we are going to dive deep into the incredible story of the Elizabeth II 2p 1997, uncovering its origins, its design, the secrets of its production, and the journey that transformed an ordinary piece of pocket change into a multi-million-dollar collectible. The year 1997 was significant in British history. It was a time of transition, a year when the country witnessed the tragic passing of Princess Diana, a beloved figure whose influence stretched far beyond the borders of the United Kingdom. Politically, it was also the year that saw Tony Blair's Labour Party sweep into power, marking the beginning of a new era known as New Labour. The nation was buzzing with change, and the Royal Mint, ever conscious of its role in documenting history through coinage, continued its task of producing coins that not only served as instruments of commerce but also as pieces of living history. Among the coins struck that year was the humble 2 pence, carrying the familiar portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on one side, and the iconic badge of the Prince of Wales on the other. But hidden among the millions of coins struck were a select few with qualities so unique that they would eventually become the stuff of legend. The obverse of the coin, the side featuring Queen Elizabeth II, is instantly recognizable. By 1997, the portrait used was the third definitive likeness of the Queen, sculpted by the talented Raphael Maclauff. This portrayal, introduced in 1985, depicted Her Majesty wearing the George IV state diadem, a stunning crown that she often wore on official occasions. The portrait conveyed both elegance and regal dignity, capturing the strength and continuity of her reign during a time of immense change both domestically and globally. Around the portrait, the inscription read, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 1997, which stood for Elizabeth II de Grazia Regina Fidei Defensor, translating to Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This phrase, steeped in history, linked back to centuries of monarchic tradition and underscored the enduring role of the monarchy in Britain's cultural fabric. On the reverse, the design that collectors are so familiar with is the badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers encased within a coronet. Beneath it, the motto, Ich dien, meaning, I serve, was prominently displayed, a phrase dating back to the medieval era and closely tied to the identity of the Prince of Wales. Designed by Christopher Ironside, the reverse of the 2 pence coin had been a part of the decimal system since 1971, making it one of the most recognized images in British coinage. This symbol, deeply historical, emphasized the role of the heir apparent in the monarchy and tied the coin firmly into the narrative of royal tradition. Yet, while the design may have seemed ordinary, the 1997 2 pence coin held something extraordinary beneath its copper surface. To understand this, we must consider the materials used. For most of its history, the 2 pence coin had been struck in bronze, a mixture of copper, tin, and zinc. However, in 1992, the Royal Mint transitioned to using copper-plated steel, primarily as a cost-saving measure. By 1997, the vast majority of 2 pence coins were struck on these copper-plated steel planchets, giving them the familiar reddish hue. However, as is often the case in minting history, errors and transitional pieces occasionally slipped through the cracks. It is believed that a small number of 1,997 2 pence coins were accidentally struck on the older bronze planchets, creating a highly coveted variety. These rare pieces are not immediately obvious to the casual eye, but to collectors, they represent a bridge between eras, a tangible connection to the evolution of British coinage. Beyond the composition, collectors are also fascinated by strike quality, die variations, and minting errors that occurred during production. The Royal Mint, despite its rigorous standards, is not immune to the occasional mistake. Off-center strikes, double dies, or even misaligned lettering can transform a seemingly ordinary coin into a highly desirable rarity. For the 1997 2 pence, examples have been discovered with remarkable qualities, from unusually sharp strikes to subtle variations in lettering spacing, fueling the excitement of collectors hunting for something extraordinary. The journey of this coin from ordinary currency to rare treasure is equally fascinating. Most people who handled the 1997 2 pence in their daily lives probably gave little thought to its significance. It jingled in pockets, was exchanged for goods, or perhaps sat forgotten in jars of loose change. But those lucky enough to recognize its rarity soon discovered just how valuable such a piece could be. Over the years, examples of this coin in uncirculated or mint condition began appearing in auctions and private sales, fetching prices that left even seasoned collectors stunned. The allure lies not only in its scarcity but also in the story it tells, a coin that was meant to be mundane but turned out to be a hidden masterpiece of numismatic history. What makes the Elizabeth II 2-pence 1997 even more appealing is its connection to an era of profound cultural significance. As mentioned earlier, 1997 was a year etched in public memory due to the death of Princess Diana, whose loss was mourned worldwide. Some collectors even draw symbolic links between coins minted in this year and the national mood of that time, imbuing them with a deeper emotional resonance. While such connections are more poetic than factual, they nonetheless add to the mystique surrounding coins of this particular year. For collectors, owning a 1997 2-pence is not just about possessing a piece of metal, it is about holding a fragment of history, a reminder of the emotions, events, and transitions that defined an era. The coin's appeal has also grown thanks to the broader context of Queen Elizabeth II's reign. As the longest reigning British monarch, her image on coinage has become iconic across the globe. Each portrait used throughout her reign represents not only the passage of time but also the endurance of tradition amidst change. The 1997 2-pence, bearing the Macklouf portrait, thus occupies a special place in the chronology of Elizabeth II's coinage, symbolizing a specific chapter in her long and remarkable reign. Collectors cherish this continuity, finding in each coin a reflection of the monarch's journey and the nation's story. Numismatics is not merely about rarity or monetary value, it is also about passion, discovery, and the thrill of the hunt. The story of the Elizabeth II 2-pence 1997 exemplifies this perfectly. Countless individuals have sifted through collections of change, searching for anomalies, hoping to stumble upon that elusive gem that could transform their fortunes. Stories abound of people discovering rare coins in old jars, wallets, or even inherited collections, sparking dreams of untold wealth. In the case of the 1997 2-pence, such dreams are not far-fetched, for this coin, when authenticated and preserved in pristine condition, has been valued at staggering amounts, far beyond what anyone might expect for a piece of small change. As we arrive at the climax of this remarkable story, it is time to reveal the true magnitude of the coin's value today. Imagine holding in your hand what appears to be just another 2-pence coin, indistinguishable at first glance from the countless others struck in the same year. But upon closer inspection, you realize that it is one of the elusive rarities, struck on the wrong planchet or possessing a unique variation that sets it apart from the masses. In the eyes of collectors, this transforms the coin into a priceless artifact, a treasure whose worth goes far beyond its face value. Today, the Elizabeth II 2-pence 1997, in its rarest and most exceptional forms, has been valued at an astounding $25 million. Yes, you heard that correctly. $25 million for a coin that most people would overlook as pocket change. This staggering value underscores the magic of coin collecting. It reminds us that hidden within the ordinary can be something truly extraordinary, that history often leaves its secrets in the most unexpected places, waiting to be discovered by those with sharp eyes and a passion for the past. For collectors, the Elizabeth II 2-pence 1997 is not merely a coin, it is a legend, a masterpiece of numismatic history, and a testament to the enduring fascination of the hobby. And so, the next time you come across a simple 2-pence coin, take a closer look. You never know, you might just be holding a treasure worth millions.